Alabama. Don't dress as a member of the clergy. In Alabama, pretending to be a priest could land you in jail or cost you $500. So, unless you're looking for a holy problem, better not show up at church pretending you're a nun. God might forgive you, but Alabama won't. Alaska. Illegal to wake a bear and take a picture. Feel free to hunt a bear, but if you wake one up just for a selfie, you risk the fine. Arizona. Don't tamper with an arcade crane game. Tampering with an arcade crane game in Arizona is illegal. Mess with the claw and you'll be caught in a Class 1 misdemeanor. Arkansas. Illegal to mispronounce Arkansas. Pronounce Arkansas correctly or you're breaking the law. Forget Arkansas, it's Arkansas. Mess it up and they might throw the book at you, though it's pronounced Arkansas too. California. You can't eat a frog that dies during a frog jumping contest. If your frog jumps too hard and croaks in a contest, don't get any ideas about frog legs for dinner. California law says the only thing on the menu is a proper frog funeral. Colorado. Unlawful to mistreat rats in Denver. In Denver, it's illegal to mistreat rats. While New York declared war on rodents, Colorado rolled out the red carpet for them. These rats are practically VIPs. Just don't try to give them cheese in NYC. Connecticut. A pickle cannot be legally considered a pickle unless it bounces. If your pickle doesn't bounce in Connecticut, it's not a pickle. It's just a cucumber with low self-esteem. Scheming pickle packers take note. Selling non-bouncy pickles is strictly prohibited. Delaware. You can't whisper or use profane language in a place of worship. In Delaware, there is no whispering or swearing in church. Keep it clean or keep it quiet, even if you're within 300 feet. Break the rule and you might get a divine punishment and a fine. No Hail Mary can save you. Florida. Do not feed the alligators. Feeding Florida gators is illegal. Remember, they're not your hungry pets. So, unless you want to be the main course, keep your snacks to yourself. It's not a feeding frenzy. You're not on the menu, right? Georgia. Keeping your ice cream cone in your back pocket on Sunday is illegal. Keeping an ice cream cone in your back pocket on a Sunday is illegal in Georgia. It's a trick horse thieves use. So, if you're tempted, don't become a modern-day horse criminal with mint chocolate chip evidence. Hawaii. You can't post a billboard except in special cases. Billboards in Hawaii? Not so fast. They're only allowed under special circumstances. It's like a tropical no-ad zone, so unless your pineapples are for sale right there, don't put up a sign, or you'll be the ad in court. Idaho. Illegal to give your sweetheart a box of chocolates weighing more than 50 pounds. In Idaho, chocolates are sweet, but not too sweet. Giving your sweetheart a box over 50 pounds is a no-no, so keep it under 50 or else you'll be the one with a heavy fine, and no brownie points. Illinois. Fishing in pajamas in Chicago is illegal. Fishing in pajamas in Chicago is illegal, and so is fishing from a giraffe's neck. The Windy City has some interesting priorities. Better leave your PJs and giraffes at home if you ever have one without raising eyebrows or fines. Indiana. Mustaches are illegal for those with a tendency to always kiss other humans. In Indiana, if you're a kiss-happy person, your mustache could be illegal. So, if you're looking to pucker up with that stash, think twice. Either shave or save those smooches for later. It's a hairy situation. Iowa. Don't pass off fake butter as real butter. Iowa's butter laws are serious. No fake butter here. So, if you're thinking of passing margarine off as the real thing, you better believe there's no smooth talking your way out. This is dairy territory. Butter believe it. Kansas. It is illegal to put ice cream on cherry pie in Kansas. In Kansas, putting ice cream on cherry pie is a no-go. So, if you're thinking of combining these two treats, beware. You could end up in a dessert dilemma. Kentucky. You can't sell blue ducklings. In Kentucky, you can't sell blue ducklings unless you're selling more than 6 at a time. So, if you're in the business of colorful quackers, you better flock together, or face a fine. 1 duck at a time won't fly. Louisiana. Ordering a pizza to someone's house without his or her knowledge is not allowed. Pranking someone with a surprise pizza delivery in Louisiana? That'll cost you $500. Unless you want a slice of trouble, you better stick to offering them pizza in person. It's a lot cheaper than paying the fine. Maine. It is illegal to keep Christmas decorations up after January 4th. Maine wants Christmas over by January 4th, so if you're still feeling festive, your decorations could land you in legal hot water. Maryland. It is illegal to wear a sleeveless shirt in Baltimore parks. In Baltimore parks, sleeveless shirts are illegal. Yes, even in the summer heat. So, unless you want a tan and a ticket, keep those sleeves on, because Maryland fashion police are real, and they're armed with fines. Massachusetts. It is illegal to eat peanuts while in church. In Massachusetts, peanuts and pews don't mix. Munch on some peanuts during a sermon, and you might just get a different kind of amen and a $10 fine. Better save the snacks for after service unless you want a holy snack shaming. Michigan. No drunkenness allowed on trains. In Michigan, if you're drunk on a train, you're on the wrong track. Act sober or risk being derailed straight into the legal system. The train might take you places, but the judge will take your wallet. Minnesota. You may not cross state lines with a duck atop his or her head. In Minnesota, duck hats are illegal for state line crossings. So, if your feathered friend is a head accessory, better take it off before you cross over, unless you're quacking for a ticket. Mississippi. Don't use profanity. Watch your language in Mississippi. If you drop a swear word, you could be fined $100. So unless you want your wallet to be cussing too, keep the bad words to yourself, or swear in silence. Missouri. You can't sell cars on Sundays. In Missouri, Sunday is a no-go for car sales. So if you're thinking of buying a new ride, better plan ahead, or risk spending the day window shopping and not much else. Even cars need a day off. Montana. Guiding sheep onto a railroad track with intent to injure the train. In Montana, plotting to derail a train with sheep? That could cost you $50,000. So, unless you're planning the world's fluffiest heist, keep those sheep off the tracks. Train robbery is already hard enough without woolly witnesses. Nebraska. You cannot marry if you have an STD. In Nebraska, marriage comes with health checks. STDs mean no, I do. So, if you've got more than butterflies, check with a doctor before you check with the wedding planner. Nevada. It is illegal to drive a camel on the highway. In Nevada, you can't take your camel for a highway joyride. So, unless you want a traffic ticket and some very confused police, you better stick to regular horsepower, because camels might spit, but they can't dodge tickets. New Hampshire. It is illegal to carry away or collect seaweed at night. Nighttime seaweed gathering in New Hampshire is illegal. So, if you're thinking of a midnight kelp run, better wait for the sun, or risk turning your beach haul into a caught red-handed situation. New Jersey. Men don't knit during the fishing season. In New Jersey, fishing season and knitting don't mix. So guys, put down the needles when the fish are biting, unless you want your next sweater project to come with some serious legal tangles. New Mexico. You can't dance while wearing a sombrero. In New Mexico, dancing while wearing a sombrero is illegal. So, if you're busting a move under that wide brim, better stop, unless you want the fashion police and the real police chasing your salsa moves. New York. Be aware that wearing face masks in groups was once banned. Wearing masks in groups used to be illegal in New York. So, before the pandemic, your masked squad would have been breaking the law. Now, you might just be the most law-abiding bunch. Funny how things change. North Carolina. You must keep your games short and sweet. In North Carolina, bingo must be short and sweet. More than 5 hours? That's just too much fun for one night. Break out the daubers, but beware, you might get bingoed with a fine instead of a win. North Dakota. It is illegal to lie down and fall asleep with your shoes on. In North Dakota, napping with shoes on is a crime. So, unless you want to face some legal dreams, better kick off your kicks before snoozing. Ohio. It is illegal to get a fish drunk. You can't get a fish drunk in Ohio, so leave the booze at home during your next fishing trip, unless you want to explain to the judge why your catch of the day looks a little too tipsy. Oklahoma. It is illegal to wrestle a bear. In Oklahoma, bear wrestling is strictly illegal. So, unless you're a professional daredevil, better leave the wrestling to WWE. And remember, bears don't tap out, but the law will pin you down with a fine. Oregon. You can't leave your car door open. In Oregon, leaving your car door open for too long, that's a ticket. So, unless you want to turn your car into a permanent public bench, shut the door before the law shuts you down with a fine. Pennsylvania. It is illegal to tell a fortune teller where to dig for buried treasure. In Pennsylvania, telling a fortune teller where to dig for treasure is illegal. So, unless you want to lose your fortune and gain a fine, you better leave the pirate maps to the professionals. Rhode Island. Illegal for one person to buy both a toothbrush and toothpaste on a Sunday. You buying a toothbrush and toothpaste on Sunday is a legal double no-no in Providence. Plan your dental care during the week unless you want tooth decay and a ticket. South Carolina. Railroad companies may be held liable in some instances for scaring horses. In South Carolina, trains scaring horses could get the railroad company into legal trouble. So, unless the horses have booked a ticket, maybe railroads should invest in horse-friendly conductors. South Dakota. You can't use fireworks to protect sunflower crops from birds. In South Dakota, fireworks aren't bird repellents. So, if your sunflower fields are under attack, better call a scarecrow, unless you want to trade your crops for a citation. Tennessee. You cannot import or possess a skunk. In Tennessee, skunks are off-limits. So, if you're thinking of importing a stinky new friend, remember, the only thing worse than the smell is the fine you'll be paying. Texas. You can't solicit professional employment. In Texas, soliciting professional employment in certain ways is illegal. So, if you're job hunting with some sneaky tactics, better check the law. Or you might end up with more legal bills than job offers. Utah. Birds have the right of way on all highways. In Utah, birds get the right of way on highways. So, if you find yourself stuck behind a flock, don't honk. Just sit back, relax, and let the birds be the ultimate roadblock. Vermont. It is illegal to deny the existence of God. In Vermont, denying the existence of God is illegal. So keep those theological debates light, unless you want to find yourself facing both divine judgment and the state's legal system. Virginia. Illegal to leave home without knowing where you were going. In Salem, Virginia, you once couldn't leave home without knowing where you were going. So, unless you want to get fined for wandering, better have a destination in mind or a great excuse. Washington. Fake wrestling is illegal. Faking wrestling is illegal. So, unless you want the law to body slam your fun, keep the drama to WWE because even fake punches can land you in real legal trouble. West Virginia. If you wear a hat inside a theater, you may be fined. In West Virginia, hats in theaters are illegal. So, if you don't want your headwear to cost more than the movie ticket, better leave your hat at home or get ready for a cinematic fine. Wisconsin. You must have cheeses of a fairly pleasing flavor. In Wisconsin, cheese must be fairly pleasing. So, if your cheddar is a little too sharp, beware, because Wisconsin takes its cheese seriously. Wyoming. Taking a picture of a rabbit requires a permit. In Wyoming, snapping a photo of a rabbit between January and April requires a permit. So, if you're caught without one, you might just be the hare in this legal tale.